Hello. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and head takers to that 6+++ show. I am your host, Tom, very lowest of men. I'm back once again with my boys from 6++ to talk all things Warhammer 40,000 with you tonight. And we're talking about evolving or dying. Because that is your choice, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new world, it's a new meta, new pack, new armies, new threats, new tablings. A lot of tablings, and you have to get with the program or be swept aside. So we're here to help you do that, or at least offer some ideas, some things we've been trying as we start getting to grips with a whole new world. This is one of the most fun things in 40k. We love this, really, but it's painful whilst it's happening. So we'd love to know what you're thinking, what you've been trying, what's working for you. Is it just playing Thousand Suns? If that's working for you, let us know in the comments so we can ban you, you awful people. But before we get into any of that, I'm going to introduce my wonderful cast of players. We're going to do a tiny bit of self-promotion because we are very good at self-promotion, possibly the best. And we'll crack on. Chris isn't here, which gives me complete creative license. So I'm going to go with Ed first. Ed, how are you?
I'm last, Tom. No.
I know. I could tell. I was like, it's like such a teacher thing. I was looking at all three. I was like, who's the least ready to go?
I was like, it's going to be me.
It's the nightmare, isn't it? Like, oh, can you come and speak in front of the class? Like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very well, Tom. Thank you. How the devil are yourself?
I'm very good, thanks. Yeah, I have been in training courses for work. It's so hot. I'm very overheated. I'm going to have a big old cold shower after this because I need it. It's not just because I'm excited to see you, Ed. It's just because of the summer heat. Have you done any hobbying or warhammering lately, Ed?
I have. I've actually got a load of models in front of me. So basically, I'm doing my Space Wolves right now.
Yes, yes, you are. Good lad.
I'm doing my Greatest Greatness. I've got my next 9 Thunderwolves, and I've actually got some really cool werewolf prints for my Smallfoot as well.
Amazing.
So that's exciting. So I'm going to be taking them to an event in future. Who knows? It might be at the Glasshammer GT. So that'll be funny. I also want to take it to a few events. I'm going to take it to Leeds as well. I'm just going to have some fun with it. So it's
beautiful.
That's basically it. I'm aiming for best. My aim is to get best painted once.
Yes.
Throughout the greatness thing, just once. Doesn't matter where. It could be my own event somewhere.
I like it. Set goals that are within your own control. That's a very clever one.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it. Fantastic. I am also joined tonight. He's looking very dapper in some Team Australia gear by the wonderful Rob Kimpton. Rob, True Archon, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm really well. Getting back into it all. So
yes.
Yeah, I had a little event in Warhammer World. Went absolutely horribly. I think it's the worst event that I've had in probably a couple of years.
Okay.
I took Ynnari while they were still broken and just absolutely shut the bed. So that was good. But it's got me really excited to play Aspect Host.
Yes.
To be honest, I didn't want to take Ynnari to the last one.
No, that wasn't the plan, right? It was a hobby lag thing.
But it was hobby lag.
Yeah.
So I've got an RTT this weekend, and I'm a whole 4-man RTT, I think it is.
Beautiful.
But I'll be taking Aspect Host. I'm finishing them off. I've got some nice,
super exciting
shining spears almost ready.
Yes, give into it.
So that should be good fun.
My 6 are over here somewhere saying, "Tom, finish painting us. We look awful." So I will do that at some point when I retire. I am also joined by my sensei. He's got pink lighting. It's not the heat. It's the lovely John Scrivens. John, how are you? He's gone to change his lighting self-consciously. He's green now. John, how are things?
Yeah, I'm really good. I've played almost a GT's worth of games over the weekend, which was unusual for me, as I hadn't played for about a month, and then I've suddenly just gone, oh look, a new pack. Let's get excited.
Didn't you? Yeah. So how did you find it? Did you enjoy yourself?
Really good. I played into New Death Guard, which Mortarion's hammer is a lie. There's not many hammers. It's actually a lot of guns and chassis. I was disappointed. 10 Plague Marines came out of Rhino and went, "We're going to fight you first." And I went, "Well, actually, bitch, I'm going to fight first." And that was interesting. And then I went into some, what are they called? Emperor's Children.
Yes.
But it was the Blades Master detachment.
Oh, Peerless Blades. I love
Peerless
that one.
Blades.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
With a load of Flawless Blades. They aren't awful. I still had to respect them,
but not without flaws, as the name suggests. Yeah.
It was the 2 CP fight on death. It felt scary, and then I remembered they had 3 attacks each, and then it was okay, but it was still a very close game. So it says that to me that they still should be respected. So,
yeah, absolutely, awesome.
And then
did you by any chance try out a new Dark Angels detachment of some notoriety?
I may have played 3 games of Wrath of the Rock. And it was
Wrath of, not Magnus.
I was
There's
like-
another
I
one.
was like,
There's
what
another
is it? It's the
guy.
one.
Who is it? Oh,
Something about Fenris, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
And
think?
it's really good. I do feel like there was some of the matchups I looked at it and went, I really wish I had just advance and charge, because it felt like I was kind of stuck in places.
It's a hard
and
drug to quit,
yeah.
isn't it? Advanced and charge.
especially like on Friday evening, I went into Necrons with Alex's Canoptic Court, and it
Yes.
was very. Once I was stuck in stuff, I was like, I can't reposition, and I fall out and charge and stuff, and it felt really like once you have to really commit and know you can do enough, and that was a bit of a lesson to me after a few months of just being able to do what the heck I wanted in combat. So
Yes.
it was good. I think it's got a lot of tricks, and I think it's going to be one that people will like to have in teams formats, because it just gives something that really combat armies aren't going to like that, because you're setting that tempo, and it's horrible that people go, I'm going to go for the melee. Are you? Well, I'm 6 inches away from where you'll get towing on. Do you really want to do that?
That does just changes the dynamic in a
horrible.
lot of
I love
games.
it.
I enjoy it. I have a lot of time for that. Wonderful. And as for myself, I'm bunkered away doing Englandy stuff and preparing for WTC, which is a lot of fun. For reasons we'll go into, the meta is a spicy meatball right now, so it's not all roses, but there is work to be done, and I'm enjoying the work as always. I've actually managed to find some time. I've played a bunch of people in our Discord lately, and I've been having a fantastic time with that. Playing against our very own Ryan Millsop, playing against, I don't actually know his real name. He's called Dopius Panda in Discord. I'm a big fan of him. He's a really nice guy to play, and so it's been really lovely. We've got a really nice bunch of people playing games very regularly in there at the moment, and that's nice to sort of pop in and play them intermittently and beg them to let me use WTC terrain. It's been good. It's been a very good time. Alrighty, it's the self-promotional element. Let's go. And if you are here, shout us out. Let us know what you're doing. We'd love to hear from you. Are you hobbying? Are you plotting and scheming some kind of counter-metal list? Or are you simply waiting for us to get to the main bit so you can comment about how people need to say when the main bit is happening? Whichever type of person you are, we've got you covered. Pickalax is here.
Comments.
Hi, Pickalax. Michael D says there are a lot of complaints on challenger cards, but I think the overall goal of cards works quite well. Close games are closer, blowouts are still blowouts. We're going to get to it, but you're completely right, Michael. I like them for that as well. Although I did enjoy John Lennon's quote on this that I saw very recently, which is that if I wanted to play Mario Party, I would play Mario Party. That's what he thinks about challenger cards. I really enjoy that. I don't think he's necessarily wrong. It is very funny, though. Oliver Samstag says Ed's volume is a little low. That is not like Ed at all. We must fix that immediately.
I have.
There you go. Yes, good lad.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It reset back to like base settings or something and went down to like 25 volume. That's not
Yeah.
me. I'm 100.
Yeah, I was
guy.
going to say, come and hang out with us in real life, Oliver. You will find that is never a concern. Not a problem, not an issue you need to worry about. And then Sam Dunn is accusing John of tailoring against his list, bringing fights first against his list with no guns. There you go.
So
Wow.
I took 3 lists, and Sean Capewell rolled to see which list I would take.
Oh, then no
Sam,
tailoring
so
whatsoever.
Not on me.
There you
Sam's
go.
just salty because he only just lost.
Yeah, there you go. And apparently his wife's out, so we're on the main telly.
Yeah.
When the wife's away, 6++ will play. There you go. So Zero says, good evening, everyone. Gustavo Souza says, how do you stop the 3 Baneblade 30 horse Sly list from scoring in the new pack? We haven't. If I had an answer to that, I'd be feeling much more relaxed against WTC.
You kill Leontis, that's what
I'm
it is.
terrified to go to Worlds when the triple Baneblade list is out there, lurking, waiting for us. And Gordon Chung is also in. Lovely to have you here, Gordon. All right, then, a smattering of self-promotion, the smallest amount. And then we will dive into our topic main. So, thank you so much for supporting us thus far. Please do hit like and subscribe. There's like 30 plus of you watching already. Hit the like on the video. We do enjoy that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. That helps us as well. We're on our way to like 9,000 now, some bonkers number.
Over 9,000!
It would be really cool to hit that in the near future so we can then immediately set our next goal and never give ourselves a moment rest. And if you would like to support us financially as a YouTube member, we've got over 100 these days. We are very grateful to them. They help make all of this possible. Then you can sign up financially via the YouTubes there. And we do, of course, run some coaching myself, Ed, Rob, Chris, a whole bunch of brilliant people working away behind the scenes on the coaching. If you want one-to-one lessons in how to get the best out of an army and your practice and your learning, we are here to equip you. So do get in touch, and that's unlocked via Chapter Master as well. We have run a masterclass. It was very fun. Chris and I did a masterclass on macro strategy. That went down really well. Thanks to everybody that came. We had a real giggle talking about seeing the big picture in games. And getting people to think a little bit more about the whys and the hows of surviving 5 whole turns of 40k. very pleased to announce that we have decided we'll do our next one on the 2nd of July. And that is going to be a terrain solving masterclass, taking the new UKTC beta pack as its focus. If you're looking at that map pack and going, oh, my life's changed quite radically, how do I figure this out? We're going to be running a 2-hour class. It's going to be focused on how you design and adapt and build around terrain sets in general. Bringing a lot of expertise to bear on that. Then we're going to zero in on whatever state the beta pack is in by that point. Get you guys to start writing and mapping and planning some lists to conquer this new map. Go and slay your foes and enemies and allies if they get in your way at a UKTC event near you. That's about it on the self-promotion front. We got videos flying out all the time. We love you guys for watching them. Thank you very much. Jack has wanted us to let you know that he's not doing Fight Night this week. He's very busy this week, but he will be back for Fight Night again next week. We've had massive feedback and views on those lately, so thanks to everyone for tuning into those. And I think we've got a little news update from our very own Davey as well. Davey, as you know, has done wonderful content for us for a really long time, done a bunch of Tyranid stuff, does World Eater stuff. He appears in Bat Reps. He's been on this show many times until, like a lot of my guests, he decides he's better than me and just leaves, which is so rude. I hate that, but they always do it. Or they have babies. That's the other thing they do. You guys need to. I mean, Rob's okay, but Ed and John, you need to watch out because there's, the rule is if you're on here long enough, baby just happens.
This is the baby.
I'm the baby. It's me. It's me.
Baby.
I'm your baby. Perfect. Wonderful. Anyway, so Davey is, for Davey to have a new job and lots of other life commitments at the moment. And Davey has decided that in the short term, what he wants to do is just focus on that and take a little bit of a step back, get his head into his new job, and he'll probably be doing a bit less content in the meantime. He will still be around. He's playing 40k. He actually took out an event this weekend, so very well done to him for that. But I think he just needs to slightly scale back the content focus for a little while whilst he does that. So big love to Davey. Thanks for being amazing. We love you to bits. I've told him he can come on Tuesday's show anytime he wants if he fancies a little break from... from his break. So hopefully he'll take me up on that as well. But yeah, please do all send your well wishes on to Davey and thank him for all the lovely stuff he's made over the last couple of years, because it's been absolutely amazing having him along. Wonderful. Okay, that's the self-promotional dimensions. Jack Type wants to play the Triple Baneblade list, so that's good. Get on it, Jack. I'm sure Tony will love it if you put that in front of his desk immediately. I think that sounds good. Sam Dunn says he quite liked the sultry red light. I like Scriver with the red lights as well. I think it's nice. I think it's good. And Sam Dunn says, does that mean no quizzes, game over? Tell you what, we'll try and book him in now to do a Christmas quiz of some variety and unleash him. My understanding is that Christmas is quite a quiet and dull time for a young father, so perhaps he can come and join us instead.
In his industry, it's so quiet,
right? We're a hoot. We've got hair. We can talk properly. Like, come on.
I'm just about there.
Yeah. On the way.
Is that a dig?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. That is absolutely not what I'm doing. Oh my word. Wonderful. Okay. And Jack in the chat says, going to an event this weekend and noticed Jack Chapman's going to be there. Ran to my missus saying I'm going to meet one of the Warhammer podcasters. She was so happy for me. Do say hello to Jack. And tell him that you've enjoyed his content, because Jack has worked his ass off on content lately. It's been really, really cool. And been some amazing engagement on his Tau stuff. Hopefully he's enjoying the Tau. I actually had a game with him with his new Tau. And I have to say, for an army that didn't get buffed, they sure killed me pretty quick. That's what was my feeling on it. But I think it was one of those. It was a fantastic game. Really, really enjoyed myself. Okay, we are now heading into that main topic. 13 minutes, about average, actually, to be honest, for getting to the main topic. Sorry, guy that only cares about the main topic. I have failed you.
The slop is done now.
But if you just...
This is the good
Yeah. This is, you've waded through the soup, and now, unless something should happen and I should just ramble for another minute or two for inexplicable reasons, you should be able to get straight...
How are you, Tom?
I know what, John. I'm good. I think my hair has finally arrived at not very manageable, and it's like I probably need to get that cut. Because I start, like how a long-haired cat feels in summer. That's how
it becomes a helmet, right? You become a
it's not. It's a burden at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited to go down to the Turkish barbers tomorrow and get that sorted out. Thank you for asking. Your hair looks amazing, by the way. I really like that.
Well, my friend Logan really inspires me. That I just want to look as
Logan
moppish
is
as
so
possible,
cool.
So.
Yeah,
man.
so goddamn cool. Alrighty. Oh, and Ultimate Funk's in. Wonderful. Hello, Ultimate Funk.
Yes.
People are painting fire dragons. Ed was always right. Don't you doubt it. And there's more
it's
love
hard.
for the triple. Yeah. Someone's got to be.
I try not to be, but it just always turns out to, well,
Enough things that eventually some of them are going to to be right.
just ignore the 9 lists a week that aren't good.
All right. We got you, guy that thinks the show had started. It didn't start,
15
but it is going to. It is going to start now at 15 minutes, and I can't pull the same gag again. Although a braver man would. So the meta has changed. The game has changed. We've got a bunch of new books, most of them chaotic in nature. Thousand Suns, Death Guard, World Eaters are also there. Chaos Knights are a thing. Space Wolves, a little bit on the wolfy side. Lots of new things have landed on us. There's a ton of new armies in the game, and to top it all off, we've got a new pack as well. Now, we've all played some games with a new pack. Rob may not have done. I don't know. Rob, have you played with the new pack?
Yeah, I played on stream with the.
He did play on stream against the Harley Quinns. Fantastic.
The funniest game I've ever played. Harley's
I'd pay to watch that.
I would pay to watch it again.
I think I'm actually going to watch it because watching him try to get out of playing Harley Quinns for several days, I was like, this is going to be classic, and it went. Yeah,
it was real hoped.
Yeah.
I super chatted. I was just like, I'm so happy. Take my money. Let me see Harley roll more ones. I won't pay anything to see this again. This was a positive experience of my life. All that sort of stuff.
How many challenger cards did he get?
I got all the challenger cards because I just sat 6 points behind the entire game. Kept using the strat.
There you go. So that's where we're going first. We're going to talk about the new pack first, guys. And then we're going to think about some of these other armies and what we're doing, what we're thinking, how might we adapt to either take advantage of or to deal with some of these new challenges. So if you think about the pack itself, I'm going to invite you, Ed, because you're a big old brain, to think about what the sort of major headline changes are in terms of the mission play going into this new era and this new pack.
So generally speaking, I've played it, and either challenger cards give you a few points throughout the game and keep close games closer, as someone's mentioned before, or it does something absolutely devastating. So it's just no in between. It's like, I could just move a unit D6 inches. Oh, roll a 1. Oh, it's fine. No. Whenever that is relevant, it is a 6.
Yeah.
I moved a Bloodclaw unit an immeasurable amount of inches in one game. I was like, I don't think I should move infantry spot. They feel like a Storm Raven, okay? They feel like a Storm Raven. So it's literally one or the other. For me, it's like as a general balancing thing, does it balance the meta? Not really.
No, it doesn't.
Not even remotely. People say it keeps close games closer. Again, debatable, but you can see the argument. But the general rule is, if you're getting blown out, you're getting blown out. Challenge cards can sometimes help, but the problem is people can still blow you out while scoring.
That's the funniest thing.
That's the issue. People are just like, I drew area to Darwin and overwhelming force did I for turn 1. I'll just leave that unit exactly out OC, and then I'm just gonna take area over 5 because that means no matter what happens, I'm not giving you a challenge card. You don't have to plan around it because it's just like if I get a combat arm, I'm like, I don't know when he can't move Morty through a wall. I don't know when Morty advance and charge. Yeah. I'm like, in terms of balancing and stable for the game,
not even a bit.
Not even a little bit. So
is his chaos fucking go?
I want that clip. That's going to be our. We're going to release that as our official take on the challenger cards. I think there are some important theoretical implications in what Ed says. Right? In theory, the challenger card mechanic gives you a little bit of catch up balance. You go 6 behind, you get a little bit more primary, you catch up. Lovely stuff. Okay. The other macro approaches are. You're going to table someone, so you don't try and score whilst you're tabling them, and then just get all that back in challenger cards that also make your army stronger whilst you're tabling them. Yeah. So that's a genuine approach now, right?
Yeah, it is. The thing is, right, like, do you ever see have you ever watched Rick and Morty where they're both sat in a ship together and like,
Yeah.
That's the first time that happens. It's just like someone's moved, I don't know, a JPI unit 30 inches or something. Not 30 inches, that's probably exaggeration. Let's say...
my Azrael and Sternguard unit in that stream moved 28 inches in a turn.
If my Storm Raven is hovering, it doesn't go that far. Okay, so basically, there are good mechanics of it as well. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not completely against the challenger card mechanic. The
I
issue
like
that
them.
I like them, but what I like them is when they just do their role. When you see them do their role throughout a game, they feel fantastic. When they see, but at the right place at the right time, even little things like a 6-inch pile and a consolidate at the right time is just absolutely, it just completely
Devastating.
collapses. Blank, it's just
Yeah.
devastating. So I think I like the idea of a catch-up mechanic. It's fantastic. But would I like to see the abilities toned down a bit? Or even a couple cost to CP? Yes. That would be fantastic. The better one.
I've heard some interesting feedback on it. Some people are wondering if maybe the points gained should go into your secondaries pile, not your primary. So there's a kind of I don't know how much of an impact that makes, but I can see it, especially if people have deliberately not scored secondaries in order to get it. It's like, well, that actually just sort of puts you back at square one in that sense, which slightly punishes that deliberate, like, I'm going to go under even though I think I have an advantage in the game, which I think that's obviously the use of it that feels the most egregious. I'd say as far as the I love the little buffs. Some of them are just funny. Some of them are game ending. Yeah. And I do enjoy that. I like that certain units suddenly break the rules. I don't hate that. And I do think one thing I definitely am doing with lists now is I'm having a look at all of the things the challenging cards can do. And I'm like, do I have a unit that would love that in here somewhere? And you want to always make sure that you do. The reality is they're very versatile tricks and tools. Almost anything will get some benefit. But certainly big, scary centerpiece stuff that's going to be around really likes them. Really, really likes them. Ed's making a face.
Oh, I'm Magnus. I'm moving 6 inches after shooting.
Yeah, good. Fire and fading Magnus because we needed that.
Stupid, sexy space wizards.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael D says you should draw the challenger cards at the start of the battle round so you don't get blindsided. Yeah, I think potentially having it standardized for both players would be good, so you know at the start of a battle round what the implications are. I think that's reasonable. But as I say, as the Lord intended, which is when two people are having a fairly close, messy game, I think they're fine. Ed and I have certainly seen them abused to some fairly horrific extents in recent weeks, and so that's just a thing that we're living with. So be ready for challenging cards, be ready for all the effects they can do, have an eye on the effects that could be cropping up in a game, and at least be aware of them. Will you be able to stop all of them? Absolutely not. There's simply too many different things to account for, and you don't know which one it's going to be. But then in the meantime, there is a very real consideration about going 6 points up against a very dangerous opponent, against a very dangerous issue. Like, do I actually want to hand that out at this stage if it's within my control in a tight game? Potentially not. It's a very real consideration.
It feels like it empowers going second a little bit more.
It also does, yes.
Because going second, you're always going to be lagging by a little bit of primary, and you're just going to catch up.
Yeah.
It reinforces that a little.
So armies that grow into the game really like it. Like it.
We'll see if go second win rate goes up with them.
Well, yeah. One thing I do like though is there's a couple missions that you now like to go first, which is actually something I quite like. So I don't know if you guys have played Terraform yet.
My god! Yeah.
So Terraform, I don't care if someone can have challenger cards against me if I'm playing Terraform. If it's a relatively balanced matchup and I go first, I'm like safe. Let's go. Especially if something doesn't have forward deploy that can immediately action. And I have like a couple of scout units. I'm like, Terraform. You've got to kill all the units and do an action on every single one.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
By the way, 2 of them are lone ops.
Yeah. Terraform has got some mad go first energy. If anything, they amped it up from previous. It's very, very, very scary now. I think that's one of the headline changes to the missions. Obviously, you essentially switch a Terraform on. Your opponent can switch it off. Obviously, armies with good action economy love this. Armies with low action economy do not love this. This becomes quite a lot of work to keep it running and keep turning it back on again in a tough game. And so that's a really interesting change. I actually think it skews Terraform harder than the original one, which is an interesting thing. Other than the complete shutout Terraform, which didn't happen that often, like the triple mid-board Terraform like that. But when that did happen, it was devastating. But I feel like certainly switching all 3 on and putting a lot of pressure on is much easier now. And so, it's a real tempo go first mission now. Any other major changes to the missions that you guys have noted or things we have to account for?
Extra second.
Oh yeah, so Data Scry Salvage is back, guys. Get fucked. Basically, you don't get points for holding your home. You can only hold for the midboard or your opponents, and it's the old hold 2, hold 3, hold more or something in that region now, is it as well? I used to love this mission, but now I slightly resent it because I'm all out of practice and I don't like that it's back. But again, if you're a midboard brawling army, this is the one for you because the opponent does not get to hide like a little flimsy coward at the back and get their points, do they, Ed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I quite like it.
Oh, I like it.
Like,
It's different,
yeah, it's
very
like,
markedly different, right?
and your home still counts towards the hold and hold. So yeah, you don't get points from it, but you still need to hold it. So that's what I like. I'm just like, if you got some armies that, like, say if you're on that map with a Space Wolves, someone goes, oh, I've got uppy downies, I can go in your backfield. Like, yeah, go for it. Bang. I'm gonna hold 4 in the middle.
yeah, yeah.
I'm running at you.
I'm playing against a lot of people now who are like, you know what, backfield, schmackfield, it's fine. I'm going. There are a lot less missions where it's be all and end all. Linchpin, that still really hurts, but otherwise,
Yes.
there's a lot to be had going forwards. Absolutely.
Mm.
So yeah, that's definitely one to watch out for, guys, as far as the primary missions are concerned. Obviously, secondary scoring has changed a little bit too. What do you think of that, John? You notice any major change with the secondary scoring?
So things like engage,
Mm-hmm.
you can score less.
Yes, you can get
do it,
1 point for being in your
and then-
half.
And then things like mark for death. If someone's done the traditional, well, here's 3 units you can't see and won't get to, you can
Yeah.
still score something from it.
Yes,
It's a nice token, but you probably should cycle it in theory, right? But
It's
it's
interesting.
nice that there's something like that.
Yeah, I think it's minimal. There's a lot more granular little point scorings. And so that is an interesting one. Obviously, you do have to score a card if you have achieved it in the turn. So there are a few less edge cases for cycling for CP.
Yeah, and the fact that you can have a card and then just, if you've already gained a CP in the battle round and your opponent's going second, you keep it, and then at the end of their turn get rid of it. It's nice.
Yeah, you got a bit more
there's-
flexibility. And
You're not just trapped with cards if someone kind of goes, oh, you're going to keep that, and then you kind of get stuck with it for a whole nother turn. It's just a bit.
Yeah,
So it's nice.
absolutely. We waved goodbye to Containment as well. RIP Containment. I loved you as a man who played Idiots. I loved you so much.
Display of might is better.
Display of my the new thing my idiots do whilst being everywhere is just count on the board in the mid board, and so that's something I like. Display of might a lot. I think that is often actually in the middle of a game that can be quite a dynamic and interesting one to try and actually score if both armies are just in there and having a massive Barney trying to get that count up.
It's close
messes
numbers.
with things like putting things up or moving things around, etc., etc. So it's an interesting card in that sense. Recover assets is obviously end of turn now. That became trivial, really, to be honest. The action economy of the cards has got easier and more rewarding in some ways. I think Cleanse went to 5 for 2 as well. So, yeah, in general, I feel like secondary's flattened out a bit. I don't know what you think, Ed.
I think about the same. I think the changes to secondaries overall are relatively positive.
Yeah.
Like they've also actually thought certain things through. Like you can't do display of might turn 1 by being like, here's a little unit of dudes, which is cool. Also, as a point for the secondaries, for the 1 point engage and the 2 point mark for death, there seems to be that they don't feel like dead cards every time you draw them. Right?
Yes.
So yeah, it might feel like you want to cycle them back sometimes, but sometimes you don't, guys.
Yeah.
Let's say, for instance, you draw. Someone gets a really good first turn card to get 9 points, right? Oh, I'm gonna get 9 points, sweet, fine. And you can get, let's say 8 points. That's easy for my maths. And you need to just get 2 points. Oh, okay. Well, if I engage, I can now just score 1 point on, and then I can just discard a card, and I'm guaranteed to challenge the next round.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool. And basically, the reason why these are the cards that have these little points, or you get marked for death for baby, you're like, I have 2 now, exactly 6 points. Now I'm going to challenge card. It also throws the way your opponent plays the game as well.
It does.
So sometimes, most of the time you want to cycle it, but sometimes if you're playing for endgame primary, let's say, you can allow your opponent to get a secondary lead because you've effectively got like 15 points in the bank. Like the imaginary bank that everyone loves exists. You've got 15 points there that you're going to probably get, or maybe 12, depending if you miss one out of the turn, or maybe end of the game, that you can use throughout the game. So you're effectively using that to your advantage. So you can use these little cards to be like, okay, I'm just not going to use a CP on redraw. You've got a 9 point turn, cool. I'm going to engage for 1, mark for death for 2. Now I've got 3 points of secondaries, and I'm going to get 3 points in my turn, which means you're actually technically only 3 points behind.
Yeah.
And then you can cycle it that way. It also saves you. It also means that your army can become a little bit more lethal as well, or a little bit more useful or versatile, because it means you have more CP to do the stuff that your army does.
Yes.
So there's all these applications throughout it as well. Like, oh, I want a grenade this turn, but I have to cycle out a card. No, it's okay. I'll get that points back later. It's fine. I'll grenade this turn. Stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of micro applications that can be seen through these secondary mission changes relating to the challenger cards, which are really
completely. And so it's only in the tough games, it feels brutally close. The CP feel like gold dust now. You really feel going one more down than you meant to early in the game. It just haunts you across a match now in quite a big way. And yeah, secondaries in general. I think have been made a bit more straightforward. This does, combined with the challenger cards, combined with the changes to the primary missions, it does make for a ruckus. You've got to be up for a ruckus. I think a lot of the technical, clever, scory, standoffy stuff that had been quite dominant is less needed now. It's more of a, I'm going in and I'm going to make a mess. And I should score secondary cards I want whilst I'm there. And if I don't want to, I'll just get challenger cards from being a little down and make a mess. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a very different change in that regard. I do think armies want to get their hands dirty, and that's very, very enjoyable in that sense as well. Sam Dunn asked, there's no mechanic that allows you to chuck a 2-point engage. I don't think you just score it, don't you? Yes, I think you would score the 2-point engage because you're gonna have stuff in there. Also, shout out to War Masters Matt, who joined us as well. Welcome, Matt. So yeah, I mean that's the sort of the mission pack. I think those are the major changes. I think the only other thing which we've not touched on is the relationship of fixed secondaries now with the aforementioned changes, right? Because again, that's something where, again, because challenger cards reward that early deficit, if you take fixed kill secondaries, for example, you don't tend to get these for a turn or two, which means you are, against someone taking tactical, going to go down points, which gives, again, much more likelihood of accessing challenger cards for the first couple of turns, first few rounds of a game. And obviously, again, for all the aforementioned reasons, if you can manage the CP issues, Fix then suddenly feels quite appealing, right? It's for certain builds, certain approaches.
Yeah, Fix is really good for this sort of application. So Fix, in that exact example, is really good to dictate exactly what sort of like challenger cards that you can be going for. It also means that you can just choose not to cleanse on certain times to make sure you guarantee the challenger card.
Yeah.
Like, effectively, with your fixed cards, right? Let's say you have a kill card and I don't know, engage. Engage is a really good one, by the way, because it means you can always just go, I'll have 1 point.
Yeah.
I only got 7 points of secondaries. There's no way that he's getting a challenger card. Oh, he did. Stuff like that, right? Like, and also with your kill secondary cards, there's not like a way that you normally you don't get them all at the start of the game, right? Like you're probably aiming to get them like turn 3 a bit, but not loads. Turn 4, go in, get a load, and then turn 5, you mop up and do what you need to do. But that would mean normally the only battle round you're probably missing out on a challenger card is probably going to be round 5. By then, if you're taking a kill secondary, you've probably killed the army. And at that point, you're like, okay, cool, now I'm mopping up. And you've scored like 20 points in 2 turns. And it's just like, oh, okay, this is bad. Oh, but I mean, even more because you get your challenger cards on top. So
completely.
dictate using Fix to actually be able to choose exactly when you get challenger cards is an extraordinarily powerful tool.
It really is.
Fix sometimes doesn't work. Don't think it works all the time. It's not like Ninth Edition.
Nope.
Go, oh, go cleanse and homers. It's not how it works. Like, because especially if the person just goes, okay, I'll do it right back to you. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just because this thing, someone did it to me once. They're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take Fixed. I'm like, okay. So I draw like Area Denial and Secure No Man's or something like that, right? Man, that's pretty good first turn. I just don't get I just don't get area. I toe onto the middle and have 5 points. Cool. Doesn't matter what you do. I am not giving you a challenge card.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You can. So basically, that your opponent can do the exact same thing back to you. But if you take Fixed and your opponent does it back to you, you're the one who's going to be punished because you're the one now who's fixed with these secondary cards. That your opponent knows exactly what you need to do and knows exactly what points he needs to stop. So it can be used the other way around. So if you do it, make sure it's a kill secondary. Don't be like engage cleanse because they're like, cool. Now I know exactly how to start and know exactly what cards I need to get to make sure you don't get a challenge card as well. So just because you have the information to be able to utilize it to do what you need to do, your opponent has it as well. Which is super important to remember.
And so as we're seeing, there's a real mini game around it. I think it's brought Fixed like back into the picture. I think Fixed wasn't in the picture at all. I personally don't love Fixed. I prefer the cards, but I do like a world in which it is relevant. There can be game plans built around it. There can be process on the fly, and as Ed says, you've got counterplays, and actually you can make life very difficult. Shout out to Garnier from the US during our scrim with the US, who took Cull and Assassinate against my GSC bricks and failed to kill something like 4 bricks by like 2 guys across the game. It was just like, you're not getting those, buddy. Sorry, it's not happening. Okay. Right, we got some thoughts in the chat. Michael D says, "Oh, good thing they removed no prisoners from Fix. Could you imagine Fix would challenge it?" I can tell you now, the people who were getting excited about no prisoners being a Fix, that tells you all you need to know about whether that would have been a good idea or not. And I'm very, very glad that it's not a thing. That would have been very, very miserable. Zero has a few thoughts on challenger cards. I think some of them are relevant. I think the strats, the flipping the game on its head. Yeah, absolutely, they can flip the game. I don't know about insta loss, but they can be very impactful. They can definitely. What they can certainly do is break the rules of measured, thought out engagement and planning and strategy. Right. I don't hate it for that. That's the whole purpose of them. They're a moment of magic, something conjured up out of nowhere, a mighty hero doing some unusual, unexpected, big, clever thing. But as you, the general who likes to think they got it all figured out, it is distressing. It absolutely is distressing. And yeah, as you say, they do definitely disproportionately benefit armies that are going to arrive late game in a very, very commanding position. But hey, that's the nature of the pack. We're in a slightly new era. This will be the thing for a while. They'll change it around. Something else will be the thing. It's not Sigmar. They're not literally pushing us in the direction of different types of characters or what was it they had? Their bounty hunters, all that shit, John. Like, I really enjoy the Sigmar packs, but like you need to be knee deep in Sigmar to have a clue what's going on with those. I'll read one and be like, okay, I have no idea. I don't know. But so I think the changes are more subtle here, but there's a lot of fun to be had by changing up the meta of units and approaches each time, I think. Wonderful. I know you do. another game in which goats are your main homies. So there you go.
Goats. Well, they're now legends. So now,
they've been legends. Shit.
Yeah. That's why they're now. Yeah, that's second. Oh yeah, but that's why they're now my 40k army. And yeah, and it's AOS is fun. I'm now a beetle main. I've got a Lariel like that on a beetle. It's gonna be amazing.
And as I say, Zero, I think adapting it in some ways, I think is definitely useful here. And as I say, the biggest one is keeping an eye on that deficit between the two players, especially on secondary, right? You can keep primary fairly level. You're trying to do that anyway. Have a very keen eye on your opponent's secondaries, especially if they've gone first, and think about, can I just deny this? Can I just avoid this for the first turn or two? That massively helps. And obviously, having things and being ready to take advantage one if you get it, absolutely opens up interesting new play patterns. So the nature of the cards is like, you can't really plan on getting the exact one you want as far as the free strats goes. What you can plan on is the catch up on the points, right? Although even some of them are not actually gimmies. One or two of them are actually, you would at least have to think to score it.
And it is good to learn, just even from the names, what they vaguely do.
Absolutely.
I found that's the hardest thing in some of these games early on, is you're going like, what's that one do? And then it takes you completely out of the game because you're actually just reading a card again. So
yeah, absolutely. So that's it for the pack. More to be played, more to be found. I'm going to be really interested, obviously, writing with Goonhammer over the next few weeks, seeing what kinds of lists are making to the fore and trying to identify whether any of those are exploiting some of the things we've talked about. That's actually something where hopefully we'll get drop pods. I don't know about drop pods, John. Drop pods back.
Drop pods.
Are they out yet?
No, but drop pods is
so
not an option.
We're not going to cover drop pods today, but we encourage you to think about them and reflect upon them, and we may return to them at a later time. So just a moment's silence to ponder drop pods, and then we will carry on.
How I've missed raping you and not being shot.
I love drop pods. It happened once. I literally used one drop pod to wrap my army around. It's phenomenal.
Those were a good time. Yeah, back when vehicles that flew could just fall back, I'd just have like a whole Eldar tank line just nosed onto it.
Yeah. If we're talking about that, let's talk about the -7 hit planes.
If guys that like to know when the main topic is happening, we've actually segued into drop pods here, so we're gonna follow this down. We're gonna follow this down for a minute or two, and then we're gonna go back. What colour do you think is best on a drop pod? Which marine drop pods look
blue?
better?
Because Sean takes two blue ones. They look glorious on his sideboard, not on the table because they can't get on.
I see the Blood Raven ones from Dawn of War. That's what's always in my head because it takes me back to the game. The sort of dark maroon.
Yeah, I see a Space Wolf one with a dog jumping out of it.
He's got like his head out the window like he's in a car. Like,
exactly. Everyone's seen how happy a dog is when his head's out the window. Imagine a cyber wolf with his head out of a drop pod. Like, that's a joy immeasurable. That's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely fantastic. So guy that likes to know when the main topic is happening. We're going to pause the reflection on drop pods now. We're going to head straight back into that main topic for you. Okay, that's at 38 minutes 48 seconds. Well, if someone could timestamp that for me, that'd be wonderful. Okay, so we've talked about the pack. Now we're going to talk about the meta, because some stuff's happened. You might have noticed it. You down the club, you played against Death Guard 4 times in the last 4 weeks, haven't you? You haven't loved it. They're not the only thing out there. There are other armies played by other people as well. But I guess it will behoove us to consider some meta menaces and think a little bit of a guess about what's making them good, what makes them work, and is there anything we, the common man, can do to stop them for the good of the realm. So, Ed, if you were to try and summarize the current meta menaces, how would you summarize it?
Chaotic.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on, right? Yeah,
a lot of chaos. I mean, meta menaces are literally at the moment. It's one of those. How would I summarize it? It's just all so fucking violent.
Yeah, it's so violent.
It's just like, whoa. I thought we were playing like a nice little chill game of Warhammer 40k. Why are you firing 1,000 shots of damage through at me? Like, why is this Harridan killing 10 Terminators and Librarians? This is a game we're meant to be playing, you know? But, you know, that's basically where I'm at. It's just everything's so violent. And one thing I will say is a lot of the stuff that's there, a lot of the stuff that's in the meta right now, they're durable and they kill you. Like,
it's not good to be both those things.
No. Like my 60 heavy intercessors will tickle you with some bolt guns. That's fine because I also won't die. But like Magnus won't die and table you.
He will literally table you.
Yeah. And then Mortarion will move through a wall. That hasn't happened to me before. Totally, I'm not salty about it.
Yeah. There's no emotional scarring there for Ed whatsoever.
No emotional scarring there. And yes, but yeah, as I say, I think basically at the moment we're basically, or who put it like that? The end times. It's like the end of times where like they go, there's only a bit left. Nids. Okay, let's lock someone in a room and say, let's make the Nids amazing, and they come back and they give you a good, nice, balanced detachment that everyone will really enjoy, and it's super thematic and it's cool. And they'll go, nope, try again, better. And they'll sit them back in the room, and then they'll come back out and it'll be broken, and they'll be like, yeah, that's great. Psychophages, do it again. And and that's all what they've done. They've sort of gone, right, I want you to stay in that room until you buff the units that we have not given any love to, which I understand and do love. I understand and do love that as a concept, but yeah, I think at the moment the meta is just like, let's just murder everything and catch up on challenger points later.
100%. So we already had a bit of that going on with the Old Emperor's Children, but we got 1,000 Suns now. There's an awful lot of output in that army. They've got full rerolls, lethal hit, AP2, damage 2 guys that cost 80 points that you'll never reach because they're stood millions of miles away. You got Magnus.
4 damage.
Magnus is still Magnus. Vortex Beasts are still Vortex Beasts. There's all sorts of stuff going on there. It's a very powerful army, and does an awful lot. You got Death Guard out doing Death Guardy things. Obviously, very powerful book. It's got Death Shroud coming in 6 away and charging you. It's got loads of damage shooting now. It's sort of the new shooty bloke drone kind of papers over some cracks for them. They've obviously got different ways to come at you. Do you need to prep for 3 Plague Burst Crawlers? Do you need to prep for Mortarion and his little mini Mortarion mate that follows him around? You got his little mini me Demon Prince that's just the same but smaller. It's a lot. It's an awful lot.
We've got Mortarion at home.
And as I say, I'm told World Eaters are also there, but I've not encountered them as much. But I think they are a thing. John, what impact are World Eaters having on the meta?
They can really hurt things. Like Aaron went into Death Guard and thought he was going to struggle, and actually did all right, smashed into them. Because they do the combat quite honestly.
Got a lot of violence, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So Fiends as well.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And that's the real trick, is that if you think World Eaters are going to be coming at you and just charging at you, there's a lot of good shooting backing them up. So it's like a traditional Stormlance list in that respect. I think that there's some honest shooting that is not very honest, with full rerolls, rapid fire, forge feeding bullshit.
I want to find the guy that was like rapid fire. That's how we do it, and I want to shake his hand. Whoever this guy in the World Eaters and Space Wars book who was like, that's a keyword we've not just randomly shoved on something we wanted people to buy yet. Let's do it. Let's put rapid fire where it. We're going to put rapid fire where it is not welcome, where it does not belong.
Yeah, it's going to be a sign for the next edition. We're going to have rapid fire chainsaws or some shit.
Oh god, yeah, exactly.
Throwing a boomerang chainsaw at you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's gonna be
it's
that.
certainly, as I said, that's the only, I think on World Eaters, yeah, I can see some power there. It's obviously not made quite the same splash, but actually people are having great results with World Eaters. People are having a good time with World Eaters. They're appearing in lots of top placings at events.
Very different lists as
They've
well.
got obviously the Berserker Warband, which is the same, but now you have 3 Hellbrutes, and then and Forge Beans, but also you've got the Bloodletters detachment, which is about bloodletters, and some other stuff also happens. I love the idea of that detachment. I've not played against it or played with it yet.
It's so good.
Is it good?
I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and there is some bullshit to be had in that detachment. If you love your combat tricks and like just doing stuff that your opponent doesn't really want to have done to them, it's fantastic.
Oh.
It's like World Eaters Eldar, right? It's
It's cute techie shit that they can do, which is
it's
cute.
like an incarn. Having an incarn mini game attached to a very dangerous combat army is just a lot of fun, right? Really, really cool.
It's awesome.
And of course, Ed, you as our Space Wars correspondent have also been starting to have a gander at the Space Wars, right? And where would you say they sit amongst this new meta menaces?
I think they're going to deceptively hold their own, because I think a lot of people have had their reservations about the space work also because it's quite limiting in certain aspects, in the fact that you can't have characters in you got to have standard characters in space wolf units and all that sort of thing. But I think there's a lot of different ways you can run them. So I think you're going to find a lot of different, let's say for the Iron Priest data sheet, as we all know, is cracked. So we're going to have, we're probably going to have some Iron Storm list somewhere. We're going to have an Iron Storm list that's always going to come up with somewhere with like, lancers with 3 shots each and stuff like that with 36-inch rapid fire. There's going to be some sort of Ultramarine Gulliman Stormlance build that's going to be absolutely cracked as well somewhere. I just don't know. No, sorry, that's Ultramarines. I'm going on a tangent. Ignore that. We're going to go back to it. And also Beast Slayer. People having a lot of success with just standard. I'm going to put a load of models on the board, loads of Marines, similar to the Champions of Rust style, except this time without advanced charge. But with Grey Hunter units with characters attached, you can sort of balance that out a little bit. I think they're going to sit probably bottom of A. I think I think they're still Marines. They're still Marines. They still have some good data sheets. They still have some nice tricks.
Tier list now.
Yeah, it's a tier list. So
yes.
I think they're going to sit somewhere along those lines, because I think they're going to be good, but I think it's going to be a while before the like a few lists come out. But I also don't think it's going to be one. I think there's going to be a few variants.
Yeah.
Because that Iron Priest can slot himself into a lot of detachments and be quite lethal. So it's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, as I say, I feel like there's quite a lot of variation there, and it will take time for people to suss it out, especially when they're trying to get out from underneath the crushing weight of Death Guard and Thousand Suns in order to express themselves. So that is going to be an issue in the short term. And I think that's meta that is right. I mean, I think the only other one to flag up is Chaos Knights, who are looming on the horizon, where it's like those knights do look cheap. They sure look cheap. There's going to be some big knights out and about. They are less tough, but they have more wounds. So scary, and they have an OC5 sticky objectives stratagem, and they're going to hit the button on it a lot. And I think they look like an interesting prospect as well. Obviously, we sort of purport to have answers for people on this show, so we're obliged to try now to pretend to have some answers to some of these problems. So what, guys, have you encountered that... Let's start, for example, with the smelly ones, the ones who've been with us the longest, because we've had a bit more time with Death Guard, right? Played against Death Guard a bit more. What kind of solutions have you guys found in your games to deal with Death Guard?
Mortal wounds.
They don't like mortal wounds, John. That's very good.
Classic,
yes,
right?
yeah, they don't, except for the ones with the 5 up feel no pain, of which there are only mercifully 2.
Yeah,
the rest of them really don't like mortal wounds at all.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be like certain little techie pieces somewhere that can like have a button they can spam for a mortal wound, like even with like Death Guard with like Melter Mines and stuff like that. There's gonna be data sheets out there that can just do it, or like I think you're gonna find that's gonna be the case quite a bit. Like say for instance, Guard just kill bloat drones so cheaply, like a Casking unit will go in and kill it. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that, and then they'll come back. So there's lots of different armies out there that's gonna have a way to just tap a button for mortal wounds, or like let's say for instance Chaos Knights will just be like, oh, you got Death Shroud, I'll tank shock you, yay, and then that's gonna be like like half the unit dead, and then they've got their combat on top, and also people with good combat also makes Death Guard still pretty vulnerable, because yes, they're tough, yes, they have -1 damage, but like and I'm gonna say this, and Sam, please don't get upset, but if they have damage 3 and a lot of it, even if they use the -1 damage strat, they still die from like failing 4 months.
Yes.
So they're still vulnerable to a lot of the stuff in the meta. So I think Death Guard are very strong. We all know they're very strong. They're very cheap. There's just too much stuff at the moment. That's the main thing.
Yep.
But I don't think they're going to be a problem for long, because I think a lot of people are going to have answers to them, and as the meta adjusts around them, that'll be the thing. Because also you got to remember, everyone's big now. There's so much big stuff in the meta. Everyone's going to tech for it, right? And as soon as everyone techs for it, that's when I turn up with a horde, and it's going to be great.
Wonderful.
I think weirdly with Death Guard as well, screening, like they have 6-inch Deep Strike, they can't rapid ingress anymore. And if you have idiots, you can just screen them out. And with the challenger cards, you can catch up. They have to drop the Death Shroud, you run away from the Death Shrouds, you score points elsewhere.
Yeah, the crucial thing is not to lose in the Death Shroud drop, right? I think that's the thing. It's like if you are in the game and you know where those are, and you can actually play the rest of the game in a decent damaging and sort of proactive way, then you've got ints there. And it does require just sensible and careful screening. It's particularly obnoxious and difficult against Mortarian's Hammer, as discussed, where they can put the contagions where they like. But actually, it just becomes a 6-inch screening game, and you just say, that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, that's easier for some armies than others. You do need to trash to pull this off, but armies with trash can pull this off. I think the other thing with Death Guard that's worth saying is you need something that's going to just fuck those Poxwalkers off immediately so you can play a game against their tanks and against their Death Shroud, because the Poxwalkers are so annoying in terms of the effort to actually dig them out of places once your game gets going, because it's just a bunch of 5-up Feel No Pain wounds stashed away somewhere. It's the last thing you need to be trying to manage at the same time as dealing with all the other crap. So if you've got stuff to just get those binned off, then absolutely take the chance, I think.
Going second into Mortarian's Hammer with those terraforming. So I've gone through the worst case scenario. So
that's unpleasant. Yeah. Very, very unpleasant. So there we are.
It's just, it's also like in Virulent where you're just like, oh, I've got 2 Poxwalkers in the middle. I'll sticky 4 objectives in this supplies.
Walk towards my combat.
You can do that.
It's just not nice.
And also I think to remember with Death Guard is when they're on the board, they're slow.
They are.
They then turn into something honest. So obviously indirect is violently unhonest, and I adore dishonest. That's way better. It's very dishonest. But I think apart from that, you've got drones that move like 8 or 10 and shoot you. That's fine. And then there's no advance and charge in there. As soon as Death Shroud are down, they're very manageable. You can just move block them. You can just keep them out of the way. And as long as you don't let them come down like somewhere like a circle, you'll be fine. By the way, for people who didn't know that reference, that's basically it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep them screened, keep them out of the way.
And I think the protestations of the Death Guard community that the book is strong but not like broken. I think that's probably fair with Death Guard. I think the main issue is just that there's a lot of them about because they're a popular army. It's a lot, and actually because they've got several good builds, it is hard to repeatedly cover and refresh and remember the different angles of attack that you need. Dealing with Mortarion with -1 damage is radically different to dealing with Mortarian's Hammer, and you just do have to kind of adapt and be ready to roll with the different punches in that sense. But some of the weaknesses we've alluded there in terms of their mobility, screening the Death Shroud drop, mortal wounds, damage 3, these are all good things to have into Death Guard. And as far as strength of guns goes, they're spamming a lot of toughness 9 vehicles, right? So anything that can punch up into that, +1 to wound, or just hits that 10 breakpoint, AP2, you're in a good spot for hoovering up drones.
They weren't a fan of their combat. Wasn't a fan of -2 wound either.
No,
so the minute you start messing with their numbers,
they're an interesting one in that sense. They really need the contagion save change to be as dangerous as they're supposed to be, right? I think the only unit I would have a caveat for that for, like the Lord of what is he? The Lord of Contagion with the Death Shroud? That just fucking wrecks whatever it touches. Don't let that go anywhere near anything you care about, because that is just going to absolutely freaking body you. But the rest of it, a little bit more prone to failure cases, John, as I say, if you can start applying some debuffs to them. Because they don't have ignore mods anymore, right? They've lost that in the book. So that actually does impact them significantly more. John Black in the chat asked, anyone know the width of the big ruin floors? 32mm base seems to overhang a little. Do you mean a UK TC floor, John?
I think they're an inch from memory, which is slightly under 32mm.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a bit on there, I'm pretty sure.
I think
Or is it 40
they're
overhangs?
32.
40's,
I think 40 overhangs.
just, or maybe just not. Yeah, 32's definitely fit though.
Yeah, in fact,
If they get really
Desolation
sad,
Reigns
yeah.
fit on them. Yeah,
I get really
Desolation Reigns fit
sad
on them.
because Scourge
Yeah.
fit on them, but they're Fire
Yeah.
and Fade. They can't actually move because they don't fit on the mower.
Guy that likes to know when the main topic is happening. We're having a little reflection on the big ruined floors now. We're just gonna dive into this for a second. Which is your favourite floor of that big ruin, guy?
Middle one.
Yeah, I like the middle one.
Second from top, perfect place for mandrakes.
Oh, it does. Yeah, I was going to say you can get some nice little elves in there. It's very fun.
And new
Very
map layouts
top.
should be
Top, yeah. What do you like about the top, Ed?
Shooting with Desolators.
I know you do.
That's
You know
2
me.
years ago,
I
Jack.
saw that look in your eyes, and you're like, "Oh, the things I've done from that top floor."
The things I've done to you.
Yeah, I know you shot the living shit out of my jeans suiters.
It's okay. The Desolators didn't have plunging fire then. They were fine.
Yeah,
They didn't
it's
hit
a
on
very
2-0,
different
yeah,
era.
like I say. It was.
I'm just looking forward to having Reavers just going from one ruin to the other. It's just one movement phase. It's going to be glorious. It's going to
Beautiful.
achieve nothing, but it's going to be
I'm
glorious.
Batman.
It's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good.
I am darkness.
So there you go. We are now re-entering the main show. The time is 54 minutes 50 seconds. All right, we're back in. So, Death Guard puzzle.
I love that you're not writing that down, so someone's got to remember.
Yeah, that's how we do business. I say things, others make it work. That's how we operate.
That's fine.
Yeah. So absolutely. So that's the Death Guard. I feel like we've solved the Death Guard. Let's talk about the Tyranids. How do we solve this Tyranid? They seem to pop out of holes in the ground. Any solutions? Yeah?
Screening.
Yeah. How do you solve it?
30 Terminators in Stormlands.
Okay, nice. So
Taylor,
run at them really fucking fast.
So you tailored and it was
Terminator with
fast.
Librarian.
Oh.
No, I really did Taylor. It was actually one of the worst matchups for that list. Harridan went 10 Terminators and Librarian dead. 10
Oh,
Terminators and Librarian dead. 10 Terminators and Librarian dead over the course of 4
Jesus.
turns. And I was like, well, that's like 1,200 points.
I do
It
feel.
was
I
Terraform
feel
and
like with.
Terraform things.
I feel like with the NIDs, it's like that again is a dedicated screening exercise because it's 6-inch in charge, right? That's you've just got to not let that happen somewhere you care about. The other thing with it is that they are still NIDs and they are relatively fragile, so you kind of have to take the fight to them as much as you can. And if you're winning the game of who connects into who, it's not easy to do, but it can be done. Then you start inflicting some attrition and they start getting a bit scared, right? It definitely has a bit of a glass jaw and you need to leverage the game so that they feel forced to bring out the real juice and then you pick up that real juice pretty easily because it's fragile. That's the only way as far as I can see.
Well, fight first. You know,
Fight first would also do an absolute number on Raveners, yeah.
Here's 6 head takers with a Wolfguard battle leader behind. Sorry, with not head takers. 6 blade guard with a Judicar behind a wall. There you go. Have some fun. And if you charge them, I've got killy strats.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I'm seeing a
with a prime
pattern
and they'll
here.
have lethals. It's just
Yeah.
no.
I'm seeing a
Well, it's
pattern.
like fight first.
Yeah,
Fight first.
screen
Fight
units.
first.
Yeah.
Definitely good here. Yeah, absolutely. So definitely very useful, and I think that's it. I think with both the Death Guard and the Nids, you have to really tighten up on your positioning, and also I think having disposable units is vital in both those games. You do not want to be playing with your real stuff when they get to do their clever thing that they do, where they come at you really fast from 6 inches away.
Yeah, 2,000 points in one 6 hole. It's gonna be great,
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah. For reasons unclear. In England land, it's called the sex tunnels.
So you're the
sorry.
power button.
Was that a secret tech?
No, it's not secret. It's not. The idea that we might have tried the new Tyranids at some point in preparation. Don't you see?
No shit.
Yeah. I don't know why it's called sex tunnels, but it is. So here we are.
I thought they were secret tunnels because it's an Avatar reference.
Yeah, potentially.
I just saw John say something about reserves and put in so you can.
Oh yeah,
loads of
yeah.
stuff
Go
in
on.
the that army. Do not do it. That's how I beat. That's how I beat them. He was like, I'm gonna have 12 points reserve. I'm like, I'm gonna run at you with everything.
Everybody, hold hands and run forward.
Yeah, like the best thing is he gave me a elixir that I could charge. Yeah, this wasn't into the Harridan game. This is a different game. He gave me a elixir I could charge and I had like 1,200 points in reserve. I'm like, you can't kill 30 Terminators. And I just used it as a yo-yo for everyone. It's like, it's forward! It was great. But yeah, you can put a lot in reserve.
Jenkins.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving it along.
Witness me.
Wizards. Anyone got any solutions for wizards?
mortal wounds.
30 Terminators is not.
Precision.
Precision.
If they're
Oh yeah, I mean,
stuff.
if you actually, to be fair, if you actually get a chance to kill those freaking Infernal Masters or whatever else, then absolutely take it. Yes, because they are always alive at the end when you go into those units. If you don't, that's definitely definitely nice to get rid of the psychic characters where you can. Unbeat. I don't know.
I think basically you do one of two things for the T-Sons. You need to be able to kill mutants. You want to do too much stuff,
That's a big
right?
thing. Yeah.
You got to do too much things to win the game. Like you have to kill the mutalith beasts, but you've also got to do it without being killed by Magnus first. And Magnus can see through. You can see what you had for dinner from standing up.
He's seen everything. Yeah.
He's seen everything. So you have to not die to Magnus, kill the mutalith, and then deal with the Infernals. So between all of this together equals out quite a difficult scenario where I don't really think there's a consistent solution for it right now. The one thing you can do is just take a metric shit ton of fill the pains against Psychic and get a 7.
I was literally just about to say librarians, because you've got a 4 final pain and a 4 pinball on your unit. It's just perfect.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm messing around with 30 Terminators, 3 librarians in there. You know, it's like, I get sustained. That's totally the reason why they're there.
Feel no pains in general, phenomenally valuable, and the more the better those are, the better. Yeah, because obviously so much of their output is ultimately locked away in trying to push through mortal wounds and death wounds and those sorts of things. And so, as Ed's kind of alluded to, like they like to push mutalisks. So being able to just dispatch a mutalith fairly handily and not to have given them your army, that feels pretty important, because they would like you to give them their army in order to do that.
5 Deathwing Knights led by a librarian is what you're saying to me, Tom.
Oh, John, make it happen, mate. Get it done.
No, because that's too expensive.
Can you do that? Can you just lead a librarian Deathwing?
Oh, Ed's had an idea.
Terminate one.
Oh, Ed's made a face.
Maybe Lazarus could be used in this really niche case.
Yeah, that's interesting. Harley in the chat says that T-Sons are mid. Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, it's worth saying T-Sons apparently are a bit more manageable on other terrain formats. For example, our beloved UKTC, on which a big tentacled Google monster doesn't always fit particularly well. And so I think there is a bit of a game with that. And certainly what you want to do with T-Sons is make there be very real consequences if the real guys, and the real guys are the ones with the little magic hats on, you want them dead as soon as they are out anywhere, because they will make you dead if you don't. So you definitely want to have a very solid plan for, if a rubric squad with an Infernal Master is available to shoot or fight, can I make sure that is dead? If Magnus is out and about trying to be pushy, can I make sure that man is dead? These are basic things alongside the killing Vortex Beast and killing Goats. Unfortunately, doing all of this at once, quite the ask. It's not easy, but we invite solutions. I hope that you guys are able to cook some more up as well. So there's a few meta menaces still to come. I mean, we talked about Chaos Knights very briefly. I suppose with Chaos Knights, it's just the usual, what's anti-big, right? How do you tech to sort out these great big monsters?
Yeah. I think the issue is going to be when you have 4 knights following each other around that can lift anything that's going to shoot them back. That's going to be the issue, because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, here's 3 which are anti-shooting. We'll try out some combat ones first to, make you go and shoot them, and then I've just got 3 lined up that no matter what you do, if you shoot them, they're going to be shooting you. And also, remember, it's kind of hard to get the drop on them as well. Weirdly.
Yeah.
I know this is frame dependent.
They're deceptively mobile, though, right? Because they run through stuff. Yeah.
Well, they run through stuff, but it's running through stuff, and it's the fact that they're like, well, I just toe onto this terrain piece.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta remember, guys. Titanic is still bullshit. Like you gotta
remember. Yeah.
This is the thing. So I think that's gonna be its own problem in the fact that, like, yes, you can shoot them with Gladiator Reapers. Yes, you can. Can they shoot you back when you do so? Probably, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of these, especially on like WTC, they're like, I can just see right into that ruin. Like I am taller than Magnus. This is going to be a common issue. So I think that that is going to be something that people have to remember, and we'll be catching people out. Because that's why when I took my Wraith Knight to ITT, people just completely not forgot, but
people get done by that. Jack Tight with his Gorkanauts, it was the same. It was exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll toe on, I'll shoot you. And you can do that. I'm like,
it's like, yeah, you're dead.
It's the start of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except it was better then. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's basically anti-big. I think it's anti-big with stuff that can take the hit back.
I think that's exactly
Don't
right.
know what that is. Right
Yeah,
now,
and I think
that is.
that's it. They've going to tier 11 changes things a lot for them. A lot of them are on 3-up saves. They are big, chunky things. It is relatively easy to get them in situations where they have to trade for stuff that's less valuable than them. It's just the critical mass. I think the OC game actually also becomes very important, right? If you know they're going to lock up the entire board with effectively OC5, if you're playing MSU aspects, you're fresh out of luck unless you take that one guy in aspect host who can make them OC2. So suddenly his value's gone. His value's gone right up with some warp spiders. Maybe have a look at him.
Some bikes.
Yeah.
Or some bikes.
MSU
bikes. OC6 becomes very valuable. Speedy OC6 that can get in behind becomes very valuable as well, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree. But I think it's basically anti-big. What else did I not like? I'd say move blocks, but they don't care about that, right? So,
no, you can sort of at least control. It's like Blood Angels. It's better to block where they want to land than where they're like trying to be in the way, right? But you can certainly do that if you can put idiots in place where a big knight's not going to fit there now. You have to go a further way around. That buys you some time as well.
Yeah.
Go on,
also, long range stuff like super long range stuff is
yeah.
Like. So you just go like, all right, I can shoot like a unit of Centurions 48 away and just lift the knight with some cannons.
Because that's the game, right? If you're picking one off and you're able to not immediately get gangbanged by another one, then you're in a good spot. So the more tools you have that allow you to do that, the better.
Is it time for 26 Darklands lists again?
Fuck it, why not, Rob? Let's do it. Let's do it.
We just got you off of them.
We re-roll ones to hit now, baby. We're going to miss slightly less. Let's do it. Let's absolutely go.
Can't wait to roll all those twos. It's going to be glorious.
Yeah. No worries. Harley in the chat says, I'm a guard and T-Sun's pro. Yeah, it's worth noting that Harley was able to achieve quite spectacular results with T-Suns, having never played or even thought about them before getting on the table. So we're delighted for Harley. It's always nice when Harley is having fun with an
great narrative choice, though.
I know. We will smack him later. That's fine. Okie dokie. So I think, as far as the meta goes, the Marines is an interesting one. There's been a bunch of changes to Marines. It's hard yet to know where that's going to land. Space Wolves is exciting. Marines players are excited about that. Guilliman and Ultramarines, that's still a thing. The Dark Angel attachment's got some quite unique juice going on. Blood Angels have like a bajillion guys. So many guys. I think Marines in general, it's worth saying, are just gonna be there. So it's definitely going to be Marine killing season at the same time. So all we're asking, guys, is that you can deal with Death Guard, Thousand Suns, Space Marines of every different flavour, and also multiple big knights. I think, and teleporting Tyranids. I think if you can just cover all those different angles, you're going to be absolutely fine.
Just kill power armor, easy. Right?
Simply kill power armor. Yeah,
but
exactly.
Some of it's T6, some of it's T4, and some of it's even T7 because it's snotty. Yeah, great.
So I've actually got a plan for that. All you do is presume it's all up to 6, and then you're fine. Lower, it's just a
average.
Yeah. Build on that basis.
Like, thank God, this one's toughness 5, not 6. Bang.
yeah. You're like, oh, yay! A little treat.
Like a happy surprise.
Yeah. A happy accident.
Yeah, gives you a little bit of joy in these beautiful dark times.
Yeah, exactly that. So I think that's it for us, guys. I think we wish you all the very best of luck. We're certainly still trying to figure this one out. I'd love to hear more thoughts. Leave us a comment in the video. How have you been getting on with these various new meta menaces? I'd be very interested to know.
Aggressively.
We are going to move it now to some podcast questions. Hopefully there are some in our Discord, but you, the chat, have the power to generate even more by simply commenting in the chat with a question. If you want to chuck us a super chat for a hard day's work, we'd love you for it. We'd even give you a little cuddle next time we see you. So we'd very much welcome that.
You, Sam.
And of course, we will answer that not only quicker, but also with more enthusiasm because we're easily bored. So I'll go over to the Discord whilst I wait for huge stacks of cash to rain in.
Yes.
If we get over to podcast questions, Andy asks, what's the most over-the-top rumour you've heard for the end of edition surprise? Anyone heard any rumours?
Getting legends.
That's mean. That doesn't
that was a dream. Sorry.
The rumor is they were going to be release box, right?
Yeah, me and Rob are still sniffing the copium that they're going to be the next big thing.
We're going to get Lady Malice and an entire range refresh.
That seems reasonable. Yeah. I did see an entire Drakari range on Sprue in a picture leaked recently. Yeah.
Yeah. I also
they
want
were Corsairs. Oops.
Yeah. Go on, Ed. You were saying something.
That's right. I think we should get Russ.
I tell you, that would actually be really fun. I'm surprised he didn't come back yet. You know,
I like going over being a 1-2 punch. Two of them at the same time would really fucking mess with everything.
Yeah,
they wanted to go Logan first, right? And then, yeah.
My copium is, it's Primark coming, but it's what's the one on the bike? Khan.
Yeah.
Kasaro Khan!
You're going to get Khan out, and he's going to be breaking out of Kumara.
I am so excited to see what fucking rules they could write to make Kasaro Khan with some Outriders like a viable.
Oh, Stern Guard on bikes.
Oh, it'd be beautiful. We actually we have a super chat has just come in from Harley MIG who says Howry is the GOAT, pass it on. Now that's not a question.
He's GOAT curry.
But we are ultimately money is money. So Harley, you are the GOAT. Thank you very much for your kind contribution.
Is not Harley.
Howry, sorry, Howry. Thank you very much for your contribution. Ed's going. Go on, Ed.
How much did that hurt you to say? It's okay. To be honest,
it's all right. There's things you just have to manage. I want to read to you a brief text exchange that I had with Harley after watching. I watched one of his games. If you're interested in when the main topic is happening, we're now segueing into my WhatsApp exchanges with team member Harley, who is a young, slightly brash and a little bit dim-witted member of our team, who we're very, very fond of, and who is an innate genius at 40k, slightly frustratingly. Anyway, after he played his T-Suns game earlier on, he texted me saying T-Suns are silly. I said, aye, they really are. It's an issue. To which Harley says, I'm enjoying the issue.
God,
it's so him.
Oh, very, very, very
He's
good.
not even a Jedi Master.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Excellent.
In fact, it's just like, he's going to say he wrote that list as well, isn't he? We know.
Yeah.
We know he's going to say that.
He did do. He was doing the My T-Sons thing. Like before he even had a model in his house. Like he was giving it the My T-Sons this, My T-Sons that. That was very
cute.
It's very cute putting a little ownership label on it. Hannibal in the podcast questions asked, which is the better army for goats, Thousand Sons or Tau? Ed, do you have any strong feelings on this?
Thousand Sons, obviously.
It's obviously Thousand Sons. Yeah.
Clearly, they've got actual goats. Like they're literally goats. And also, they've got goats with bows, which are completely fine / not, and they've got goats with spears, which are absolutely dog shit. But I still love them, and I still give them all the attention that they deserve.
Yes,
which is why I take 8.
Absolutely, no, 100%.
There is a third choice here, CSM.
Yeah,
they have some
so they do. They've got those guys who can come in from Strat Reserves turn 1 with their like strength 3 attacks on a flank, like
They are so nice.
We got you.
One day.
The models are gorgeous. Yeah, we'll await them to get some kind of cool combination of words that makes them very relevant in the future. Sam Dunn said GW's track record says that Jagatai won't have a bike. He'll be on some massive base with some sort of pet, probably a bird. Yeah, I can see that. I'd love him to be riding a huge eagle. Yeah, I was just thinking that would be really, really
An eagle
fun.
with one eye missing because they're metaphors.
John Black asked, what would Harvey's Jedi rank be? Bless you for thinking that Harvey would be in the Jedi Order, John Black. That's incredibly sweet. Harley is very chuffed about his super chat. Zero says pre-order 66 Padawan. That's brutal. That's very, very beautiful. Oh, no, Harley's quoting it. Oh, bless. Absolutely. Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? Simply play Thousand Sons, said Anakin.
Just go first.
You'll be absolutely fine.
Oh god! I thought he was referencing himself as Master Skywalker, and I was like, and that's what he did. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Tom.
Yeah.
Oh,
we lost Tom.
He's gone off to watch the prequels now. He was so excited he had to go back to watch the prequels.
And
he's back. Oh, he's gone.
A second ago.
He's gone. Right, I'll quickly open the lovely list of questions.
Yeah.
And that was the last one.
That
was all our questions. Yeah, literally. Tom's just probably done his whole thing saying, "I'm done, guys. I'm bored of this now." So,
he's
any
done
last
the
quick
Irish
questions?
goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like Tom's done the Irish goodbye, guys. Is there any other things that you want us to know from us while we see if? Oh, Tom's back.
There he is.
Hello there. I didn't do any Irish goodbyes. That is the end of the show. Guy, who wants to know when things start and end, we are finishing the show now. That is it. We will see you again next time. Timestamp that. That is 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 35 seconds. Bye. See you next time.